Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. I want to quickly go over the new updates on the US-China tariff situation. Over the weekend, US and Chinese officials met in Geneva, Switzerland, marking the first major face-to-face negotiations in years. The outcome was a historic agreement to de-escalate trade tensions for 90 days. I have a chart here for us that describes what tariffs you're looking at right now. And it seems like there are only 30% additive tariffs right now since the April 2nd reciprocal tariffs that Trump put in. Now, the 30% is an additive. That means Trump's first administration's Section 301 tariffs are still in place, and also pre-existing import duties are also in place as well. So you need to add those three up to get your tariffs. And I'm going to go through this chart here, and you can see that there's a baseline tariff, which is the post-negotiation deal of 10%, which is applied to all Chinese imports. You have to add another 20% of the fentanyl emergency tariffs that Trump added in the beginning of his administration. So that means we have a total of 30% in additive tariffs. Now, remember the Section 301 tariffs I described in the last video, which is still from 0 to 100%. It depends on the HTS code at the time of import, but you need to add those in because that's another additive tariff from the first administration. So it's 30% plus whatever percentage your product code is in the Section 301 tariff list. I went through in detail how to find your tariff percentage based on the HTS codes of a tool in Seller Central. I'll put that in the description of this video so you can use it. And if you want more information, go into my last video, which I will put in the description as well, so you can kind of familiarize yourself with the tool. And finally, on top of that, you have to add in the import duty, which is the import duty that was always been around since before Trump's administration, that you always include at the time of import. So you really have to add three things together, which is the reciprocal tariffs with the fentanyl tariffs, which is 30%, plus the Section 301 tariffs, which is 0 to 100%, depending on your HTS code. And then on top of that, you need to include the import duty of your product, which is dependent on your HTS code as well. And that import duty will also be shown in the tool, shown listed in the description below in my video. But all in all, this is only for 90 days, and here's what's likely going to happen. I believe that tariffs will likely stay around at the current levels for the foreseeable future. And that's because time is on China's side. Unlike the US, China doesn't face electoral pressure. They can afford to drag the negotiations out indefinitely. Meanwhile, President Trump is facing midterm elections next year, which means he'll be under pressure to avoid further economic escalation. Rather than pushing for full-scale market reforms, which China is most likely not going to accept, let's be honest, Trump may opt for a symbolic victory just to stabilize tariff environment, which is going to be limited but just small visible concessions from China and a narrative of how tough we were on negotiations. What we'll likely see is a trust but verify strategy where the US keeps moderate tariffs of about 30 to 50% in place to maintain leverage. China in turn will probably cooperate just enough to keep the deal alive while strategically waiting for Trump's final term to end, betting on a shift in policy under the next new administration. So while this 90-day pause may sound like progress, it's really just the beginning of a long chess match. And I don't see this ending in the foreseeable future, and tariffs is most likely the new normal. Well, I hope you found this helpful. I try to keep it short and sweet. If you found this informative, please do like, subscribe, or comment how you're dealing with these tariffs. I'd love to hear from you all, and see you in the next video.